In the middle of the 1950s, Detroit was a war zone of horsepower and ego. Each year, Chevrolet, Ford, and Chrysler battled fiercely, releasing machines that grew larger, louder, and more powerful. The belief across America was simple: only the automotive giants had the strength and resources to create real performance cars. Then, out of nowhere, American Motors, an underdog known mostly for modest, economical vehicles, dropped a thunderbolt into Motor City, the 1957 Rambler Rebel. No flashy marketing campaigns, no exaggerated promises, just a compact, cleanly styled silver sedan with enough raw power to rattle Detroit's confidence. The Rebel wasn't created to show off, it existed to challenge everything the industry thought it knew. It was proof that courage, not size, could reshape an entire industry. That single release opened a new chapter in American performance history, one Detroit wished would quietly disappear. Just 3 years earlier, in 1954, Nash and Hudson had merged to create American Motors Corporation, a newcomer in a field utterly dominated by the Big Three. While GM, Ford, and Chrysler poured gigantic budgets into the horsepower race and flamboyant styling, AMC deliberately went in a different direction. Their cars were smaller, smarter, and more efficient. Under the guidance of CEO George Romney, AMC became the unconventional voice of reason in a market obsessed with excess. Yet deep inside AMC's engineering departments, some believed the company would never earn true respect until it built something audacious, something that forced Detroit to look up. Out of that quiet determination, the Rebel project was born. It wasn't a car meant to follow the rules but one designed to break them. Even its name, Rebel, symbolized defiance, confidence, and the pride of a company refusing to stay in its assigned place. At first glance, the Rambler Rebel didn't seem like a troublemaker. Unlike the dramatic fins of Cadillacs or the aggressive lines of Plymouth's Fury, the Rebel embraced simplicity. But its modest appearance was part of its genius. In an age when every car demanded attention with chrome overload, the Rebel concealed its strength behind refinement, a genuine wolf disguised in calm, understated design. Edmund Anderson, the mind behind the styling, believed that sleek aerodynamics and proportion were far more important than shiny theatrics. The compact body was shaped with intention: a low hood, a tapered rear, and subtle chrome outlining a design that whispered confidence instead of shouting for it. The distinctive two-tone silver and champagne gold paint scheme made the Rebel recognizable without ever being loud. And along its side, a small Rebel 58 script quietly hinted that this was no ordinary family sedan. Inside, the Rebel refused to mimic the sporty cockpits of cars like the Corvette or Thunderbird. Instead, AMC kept the interior warm, comfortable, and unmistakably American. Two-tone cloth and vinyl seats brought elegance, while a logically designed dashboard included full instrumentation, even a tachometer, which was extremely rare for the era. Standard features such as power steering, a heater, and an AM radio showed that AMC wanted the Rebel to combine practicality with performance. Wide rear seating, generous headroom, and clear sightlines made it a proper family car, not a cramped sports machine. Yet beneath all that practicality lay the beating heart that unnerved Detroit, AMC's own 327 cubic inch V8. This wasn't Chevrolet's famous 327, it was entirely AMC's creation. Built with toughness and reliability in mind, the engine delivered massive low-end torque perfect for a lightweight sedan. With a 9.5:1 compression ratio and a Carter WCFB 4-barrel carburetor, it produced an astonishing 255 horsepower, an extraordinary figure for 1957. Weighing just 3,400 pounds, the Rebel's power-to-weight ratio challenged some of the era's top sports cars. Motor Trend recorded 0 to 60 miles per hour in 7.2 seconds, putting it right beside legends like the Corvette and Thunderbird. Even with 4 doors, the Rebel's Flash-O-Matic transmission handled the V8's strength smoothly, allowing the car to switch between calm cruising and fierce acceleration with ease. One push of the throttle transformed the humble sedan into a rocket. Yet the Rebel's story didn't end with its carbureted V8. AMC wanted to go even further. They partnered with Bendix to develop Electrojector, the first fully electronic fuel injection system ever attempted by an American automaker. Decades ahead of its time, the system used early temperature and pressure sensors to manage fuel precisely, technology that later became the foundation of modern EFI. AMC hoped the upgrade would make the Rebel faster, cleaner, and more efficient. Unfortunately, the system was plagued with problems. Cold starts often failed, sensors produced inconsistent readings, and costs spiraled out of control. AMC ultimately canceled the plan, returning to carburetors. Only a handful of Rebels ever received the experimental electrojector setups, making those prototypes among the rarest collector vehicles in American history. But even in failure, AMC demonstrated remarkable bravery. While Detroit's giants stayed cautious, AMC dared to innovate. When the reviews arrived, Detroit was left speechless. A four-door sedan from a small automaker was keeping pace with Chevrolet's Corvette. On test tracks, the Rebel outran Ford's Fairlane, Plymouth's Fury, and even some variations of Chevrolet's Bel Air in acceleration tests. Reviewers praised its balance and composure, describing it as a family sedan that drove like a legitimate performance car. For enthusiasts, it felt like a dream, a vehicle that could carry the family to church on Sunday morning and humiliate a sports car that same afternoon. To Detroit's biggest companies, the Rebel was a nightmare. It shattered the notion that performance belonged only to industry giants. But despite glowing reviews, the 1957 Rebel could not escape market realities. Fewer than 1,500 units were produced, far too few to maintain a performance line in an industry dominated by brand loyalty and massive marketing budgets. Its higher price and AMC's smaller dealer network also made ownership less convenient, pushing many buyers toward more familiar brands. George Romney soon redirected AMC's focus toward practical, economical transportation, believing the American public wanted reliability over raw speed. When Rebel production ended quietly, Detroit relaxed. The threat had faded, not because the car failed, but because the world wasn't ready for it. Yet the Rebel's impact didn't vanish. It had already planted the seed that would ignite the muscle car era. Long before the Pontiac GTO captured the spotlight, the Rebel proved that power didn't require luxury or flash. The philosophy of a big engine in a lighter body, later perfected by Dodge, Pontiac, and Chevrolet, was pioneered by AMC. The Rebel was years ahead, not only with its robust 327 V8 but also with its early experimentation in electronic fuel injection, a technology Detroit wouldn't fully embrace until the mid-1960s. Today, the 1957 Rambler Rebel is finally receiving the recognition it always deserved. Collectors no longer see it as just a fast sedan, they see it as a symbol of bravery and innovation, proof that greatness can come from fearless ambition, not corporate size. Restored Rebels in their original silver and gold paint stand as moving monuments to AMC's spirit. When the 327 V8 fires up, it carries the echo of a time when passion mattered more than profit margins. Museums like the Peterson Automotive Museum in California and the Gilmore Car Museum in Michigan now honor the Rebel as a foundational chapter in muscle car history. In the modern collector market, pristine examples can command prices exceeding $100,000. But its true value isn't measured in dollars, it lies in its legacy. The Rebel endures as a reminder that American automotive history wasn't shaped solely by giants, but also by dreamers who dared to challenge the rules. It wasn't celebrated for extravagant styling, but for its fearless soul. And if the story of the Rambler Rebel inspired you, share your thoughts. Does it deserve recognition as America's first true muscle car? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because more forgotten legends of Detroit are on the way, the machines that once made America watch in awe.